I'm here to induct Foreigner into the Hall of Fame. That being said, the first thing I want to do is congratulate the fans, the Foreigner fans, because you guys had a lot to do with getting this done. It was more like an abduction than an induction. Anyway, first things first. So we all have asked ourselves, all us musicians out there, we've asked ourselves many times, what's the criteria? How do you get into the Hall of Fame? You know, what do you need to do? What do you have to have done? And you know, you think about it, there should be some rules. You gotta have at least one big hit, right? One big hit song, right? That would be, yeah, okay, so you're a rocker. Well, Foreigner has had 9 mega hits in the top 100 of Billboard. 9 mega hits, not 1, 9, okay? Boom, qualified. Okay, number 2. Should have like a gold record, a platinum record, you know, a million selling record. I think that would do. Well, here comes Foreigner with 80 million records sold. 6 top 10 albums, including Foreigner 4, my favorite album of theirs, which spent 10 weeks at number 1, okay? Qualified, right? Boom, okay? All right. Then I think, being an old elder myself, I think being around long enough, they're eventually going to bring you in. You know what I mean? It's like they take some time. So I think the longer you can be around, longevity is probably a good factor, right? Well, they formed in '77. They're still filling arenas and arenas and amphitheaters around the country, and it is not even any original members. That's how good the songs were. That's how good the music is. Okay? Come on now. All right? They could have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 20 years ago. It's all right. They're here now, so it's okay. I was thinking, backstage, you know, maybe it's what took so long with Foreigner, because they got everything else going for them. I thought maybe they just weren't glamorous, and maybe they weren't pretty enough. You know what I mean? You know, hey. Then I walk out and I see Cher up here, and I'm thinking, if that were the case, she would have been in the Hall of Fame about 10 times by now for every time she reinvented herself. Welcome, Cher. Congratulations. What was I thinking? Okay. Well, when I think of Foreigner, I go way back with the founder, along with Luke Graham, but Mick Jones. We go back to the early 70s. My first tour as a singer in a little band called Montrose, we were on tour with Spooky Tooth, and Mick was in Spooky Tooth, and we were both opening for Humble Pie, which brings us to Peter Frampton, who was Humble Pie, right? Congratulations, Peter, an old friend too. And we toured for a year. Mick and I became really close friends. We're still close friends, and I'm really sad that he's not here tonight. He deserves this more than anyone, and but he's out there watching, I'll tell you right now, and we can just look at Mick in the eye and say, Mick, we love and miss you, and congratulations. We'll start right there. But Mick, after a year on the tour, fast forward, I ran into Mick at some concert somewhere, and I said, what are you doing, Mick? He's going, well, I'm starting a new band. I found this young, hot singer out of Rochester, New York, right? So, me being a singer, first thing I said, well, what's he sing like, you know? And he says, well, he's kind of like a cross between like you and Paul Rogers. And I'm going, oh, 2 of my favorites. So, you know, some more time passes. I'm out driving one day in my car, really fast. And turn on the radio, and it was in the middle of Feels Like the First Time. And it was the first time I ever heard Feels Like the First Time, right? And I didn't know who it was. And I'm listening, I'm going, damn, this guy's singing his ass off, you know? And, you know, being a singer, you know, you start getting jealous and stuff. Who is this, you know? What's going on here, you know? And Mick always had a really fat guitar sound. Les Paul through a Marshall Stacking. And I heard that guitar, and I'm thinking, this must be, I just had a feeling that it was Mick's new band, Foreigner. I thought, you know, I've never heard these people, it's gotta be them. And sure enough, it was, and I've been a fan ever since. And I don't know, they just had the biggest string of hits. I mean, how many, I mean, we all, some of you grew up with them. Well, I grew up with them, you know. And it just, they went on with just hit after hit. And they weren't just hits, they were really versatile kind of songs. You know, like they would go, you know, heavy rock stuff. And first of all, that's the other thing, how they got, there's heavy rock songs on Top 40 radio back in those days. No. Oh, you can't play that song, it's too heavy. And they're on Top 40 radio. That's because the songs were that good. It was really, they're that commercial, they're that sing-songy, they're that, but they were heavy rock tunes. So, you know, they start coming with things like Waiting for a Girl Like You. And then all of a sudden you hear, man, you know, it just, you start hearing Lou's voice singing sweet like, I'm going, man, I didn't know he could sing like that. Anyway, they just blew my mind. Every time they came out with a new record, they were just great. And then, the clincher for me was Jukebox Hero. For me, every musician I know, and I know a lot of you are out here thinking the same thing, the first time you heard that song, you know you were jealous. You went, oh, damn! I mean, it was heavy, hard. They were singing about us, singing about our lives, you know, being in music business. And it was just so good and so heavy. And that song, the way Lou's voice sounds in that song, he pushed himself so far. I'm just going, dude, how are you going to do that? You know, it's like on tour. We just talked about it backstage. And, you know, you're in the studio, you just want to give it all you got. And that's, to me, that's one of the greatest rock vocal performances ever. And then, just when you think, all right, now what are they going to do? They drop a song like, I Want to Know What Love Is. Hands down, one of the greatest ballad love songs ever written. My work. Bridge Over Troubled Water, you know, Hey Jude, Want to Know What Love Is, right? They're in that league. And that's when I said, yeah, these guys belong in the Hall of Fame. That's all I'm trying to say, okay? So, that's why Al Greenwood, Dennis Elliott, Rick Wills, Lou Graham, great singer, Mick Jones, Ed Gagliardi, and Ian McDonald. That's why they belong in the Hall of Fame, and that's what I'm here to induct them.